artists. It's Catherine Ziegler with the Acting for Your Life podcast, and welcome to Wise Words Wednesdays. We want to thank you for tuning in to season 4 of the podcast and celebrating our 10th year of the Acting for Your Life program. We've been around for 10 years. We are a program that implements life and career strategies to help you find balance as an artist, especially performing artists, and particularly actors. We want to welcome you to the podcast today. Today's guest is Adanma Barton of Berea College. Adanma is a professor of theater at Berea College. She is also the secretary of the Southeastern Theater Conference, one of the largest theater conferences of its kind in the United States, and she's also president of the Kentucky Theater Association. She's recently directed the Great American Trailer Park musical at Berea College. It opens Friday, which would be April the 10th, if you're listening to the podcast today, Friday, April the 10th, 2015, and it runs Friday and Saturday, and then again the following week, Wednesday through Saturday. The show's at 8 p.m., and if you're interested in tickets, you can call 859-985-3300. That's 859-985-3300 for tickets. Well, without further ado, let's start part 1 of our interview with Adanma Barton.
Oh, thank you, Catherine. I'm thrilled to be here.
We always start by asking people how they fell into the world of entertainment and theater. Why don't you give us a little bit of background and start at the very beginning? What's your earliest memory of wanting to be involved somehow in the entertainment arts?
Oh, my goodness. Okay. My earliest memory would probably be in elementary school when I played a tree in Little Red Riding Hood, and I was the best tree
Fantastic.
you could ever see. And the bug was bit the minute I heard the first applause, and I did drama club in high school. And that was in Virginia, in Hampton, Virginia, at Kecoughtan High School. And I didn't realize that you could actually go to state competitions with drama. So our drama club sponsor took us to the state competition, and I won a trophy. I won the Best Actress in the Peninsula District trophy in 1992.
Fantastic.
And I came home with a big trophy and said, "Dad, I'm going to be an actor." He said, "No, you're not." But eventually he did change his mind. I went to Virginia Commonwealth University, and, as with most things, one good teacher can make a world of difference. And in college, I was blessed to have Marvin Sims as my acting professor, and he told me that I had what it takes to make it. And thankfully, he was right.
Fantastic.
So that's how I got my start.
I've also been blessed with some great teachers, and it's amazing to me how much they impact our lives far beyond the stage or the screen. I can hear all of my teachers, two in particular, Gregory Abels and Dr. Linda Bringle, who taught at Indiana University Southeast, and I hear their voices in my head every day as I make decisions. Does the same thing happen with you in life and career?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that Marvin would always tell me is to slow down. I don't need to do it all at once. I'm still trying to learn that lesson, but I definitely hear his voice every day. And if I could be half the teacher he was, I'll know I'll be fine.
Now, how did you know that you wanted to be a teacher? Because I know for me, I was in so much denial of doing anything except for performance for the longest time. And then Greg Abels, who I mentioned, sort of pushed me in the direction of teaching. How did you know that you wanted to start teaching?
Well, yeah, it was an interesting story. When I decided that I wanted to go to graduate school, I went to URTA and did the audition in New York and paid the money and got called back for Arizona State or University of Virginia. Mm-hmm. And University of Virginia ended up winning out because they gave me a full ride, plus they paid me to teach. So that was one of the first times where I was like, okay, I'm really going to do this, so I need to figure out how to teach somebody what I love to do. Mm-hmm. And there's such a joy in that. I was just like you. I was like, okay, I'm going to be a performer. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. But then I realized I could make a steady check doing what I love to do through teaching it and helping somebody else realize their dream. And once I got in that boat, there was no stopping me.
Yeah. How do you stay current on what's going on in the world of acting? I know a lot of people use a lot of different methods and do a lot of different things, but how do you stay current for your students?
Oh, I definitely, and I encourage all of them to get subscriptions to American Theater Magazine. That's one of the number one things that I do. I also, you might call me a little bit of a Facebook fanatic. I have so many friends in so many different markets that I purposefully stay in contact with on the regional circuit, too, because I tell my students that theater is everywhere. It's not just New York, L.A., and Chicago.
Sure.
There's so many great places, even here in Kentucky, that can really provide an opportunity for people to express their art. So I really love to, have chats with people online, see what seasons are going up in different regional theaters, and try to implement that into my curriculum.
We recently aired a podcast with Teresa Eyring, Executive Director with Theater Communications Group, as you know, and they produce American Theater Magazine. And one of the things that she mentioned that just really rang true, and I think that we forget this in some of the smaller markets, that theater really is everywhere. And we have the power literally in our hands to communicate with people from all over the world. We have such access to everyone and everything with the internet and social media. But that can present a challenge for some students. What are some challenges that your students are having, even in this very connected world that we live in?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, theater artists are always looking for work. And yes, we have the internet, and it's a great thing. But I do see a lot of my students needing to build that online presence and to attempt to graduate from here and to go out and get work. And they do it. They are successful in that. But I've had a lot of students who are interested in television. And we just recently started our film minor here on campus. And with this unfortunate, I call it unfortunate, trend of reality-style TV, the scripted TV has started to go by the wayside a little bit.
Sure.
And, people have to adapt to the market where I don't want my students running around hitting people with their shoes and cussing and beeping and stuff like that, So in order to help them, I've taught them that the best thing they can do for themselves is to create their own solo performance. I'm a big proponent of writing your own show. It belongs to you. You don't necessarily have to do it in a theater. You could do it at a library. You could do it at a park. You could do it anywhere. And obtaining that exposure, and also still needing to be with the times, teaching them how to create a positive online presence. That's a challenge that we've been overcoming here at Berea College.
Now tell us a little bit more about your experience at Berea College. Right before the interview, we were talking about what you consider to be one of your biggest professional successes, and I'd love for you to tell our listeners about some good news that you just received.
Oh, absolutely, yes. My biggest accomplishment thus far in my career is that I just received tenure.
Hooray!
So, I know, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. To be a 35-year-old associate professor of theater is something I never would have dreamed, and it's just great. I'm just really happy.
What was that process like for you? Because I know you said that it was a long road, and especially for someone who had started their career thinking that they wanted to be a performer and then becoming a teacher and then seeing your life's work as a teacher in front of you. What were some of the challenges that you faced?
Oh, yeah. Well, I received my master's in 2009 and moved directly here to Kentucky. And with the tenure process, it's a 6-year process in which they focus on teaching, scholarship, mentoring, and service. So just trying to do the best that I can in all of those areas and still attempting to find ways to be fulfilled as an artist was a challenge. Because there's only so many hours in the day. I wish there could be more hours in the day. I still managed somehow to find a way to kind of fold things together. So my creative work counted for my scholarship. So the plays that I directed would count towards tenure. So it was really great. I did a project with Silas House. He wrote a play called This Is My Heart for You, and I directed the world premiere on campus, and it was just amazing. And wonderful things like that, finding ways to have my class. I did a service learning class in which my students went to Hope's Wings, which is the only battered woman shelter in Madison County, Kentucky, and they interviewed women there and devised a performance, and then we did a benefit performance for the shelter. So yes, that counts towards tenure, but it also fills my artistic need as well. So it was just a really great time.
Now, there are other things that you do throughout the state of Kentucky. You're a busy lady. I mentioned the Kentucky Theater Association and the Southeastern Theater Conference. Most people know that as SETC. Tell us a little bit about your work with those organizations.
Oh, yes. I love being the president of Kentucky Theater Association. We service theater on all levels throughout the state of Kentucky. So preschool all the way through graduate school, professional, community. We have our conference every November. This November, it will be at Western Kentucky University. And it's just a great celebration of all theatrical elements in the bluegrass. And with the Southeastern Theater Conference, I'm very proud to be the first African-American female ever to serve on that executive committee.
Congratulations.
10 states. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's 10 states of people. It's a lot of people. And I, with my work there, I started as the chair of the Cultural Diversity Committee, and just wanted to become more involved. And now on the executive committee, I help plan the conference, which will be in Greensboro, North Carolina, in March 2016.
Fantastic.
And that's the largest conference of its kind. We just had 5,000 people at the last conference. Yeah, so it's a really great place to network and learn new things and just express your art.
And that concludes part 1 of our interview with Adanma Barton here on Wise Words Wednesdays. For part 2, tune in tomorrow. You can check us out on SoundCloud. We also have archives on Podomatic.com and on iTunes. So be sure you tune in to Wise Words Wednesdays and the Acting for Your Life podcast. Again, if you're interested in tickets for the Great American Trailer Park musical at Berea College, call 859-985-3300. That's 859-985-3300. For more information on Acting for Your Life, visit our website at acting4yourlife.com. That's acting4yourlife.com. And you can also send us an email at acting4yourlife@gmail.com. acting4yourlife@gmail.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you soon. Now go out there and break some legs.